So we've talked about gardening and how now is the time to work on it. So today we've decided we want to expand our garden, so we're going to do some measuring, and then we're going to go to our local Tractor Supply and get everything we need for installing a new taller fence that'll help keep the deer away from our garden.
So to give you a little bit of an overview, there's the barn, and that fence line right there is, we're going to change that out. Goes down over the bank, and right about there at that big hemlock tree, we're going to turn and go straight back to our property line, and the spot over in the left will end up being garden. We'll take you down there and show you. But this area right in here is all grass, and this is where we move our meat birds around in the spring and the summer. And then of course we have some fruit trees around the chicken coop. The goal here, what we're planning on doing, is putting in tall T-posts and a 6-foot welded wire around the perimeter of this garden area and lawn area to help keep the deer out and just make it a little easier to maintain. So we're going to get you set up somewhere where you can watch. We're going to do a little measuring, and then we'll bring you back and show you when we get down over the hill by the garden area.
There you go.
So we know to get to this post, up around and back up to the barn, we're about 180 feet. And now what we're going to do is we're going to measure right straight back towards the property line back there. We're going to stop about 8 feet short of the property line. So as we do this, we could drive around the outside of the fence. So we're going to go ahead and get in here and measure this to show you what we got going on. Alright, so the first half was about 180 feet, and to come across here and go down to the shed is about another 150 feet. So we're currently running at about math today, right? 330 feet. So our plan here, as you can see, we'll look back up through here. There's the greenhouse, there's the garden. Our plan is to finish cutting these trees, which are mostly just softwoods that are breaking off at the top or dead already, and be able to till this right here and have an area to plant corn and other stuff. Nice flat area. And you know, we'll probably run some fruit trees. along this fence, of course on this side, so the horses don't eat it. And then the horses will keep that pasture. So this whole line right here will end up being the deer fence, which will then transition to the hot wire for the horses. And it will stay about 8 feet off the property line, like I said. And then as we get down this way where Sue is, this will be the garden area. And then as we head out, the plan is, at the moment, to make a little camping area there where we can set up our fifth wheel camper when we're not using it. And if we have guests, it gives them some place to stay that's private. So we'll end up coming along, this shed will of course get moved. We'll end up coming along the front of this shed with the new fence. And at some point we'll put a gate in, and then we'll transition to a wooden fence along the front of the garden that in the summertime will only be about 4 feet high. But in the winter we can put some extensions on it and put a hot wire to keep the deer out. And then like I said, we'll make this area down here into a nice little campsite, someplace where we can park the camper when we're not using it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead, get in the truck and head down to Tractor Supply and get some material. So let's go for a ride.
All right, so we're back from Tractor Supply. We got 4 rolls of 6 foot by 100 foot welded wire and 40 T-posts. They're 6.5 feet tall. So that means when we put them into the ground, the wire will stick probably about 6 inches above the T-post. We decided that would be just fine. It shouldn't have any pressure on the top, so it shouldn't need support in the last 6 inches. That's going to fence around the entire area that we showed you. So we're going to get this all stacked on a pallet so that we can move it, and that'll let us work on it as time allows and weather allows. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe.